Thank you so much, Laurent, for having me. It's a great pleasure.
Okay, so Cornelius, you're in Egypt for the COP27, as many people involved in energy transition. Do you think it's an opportunity for the whole MENA region to focus on clean energy and maybe express its ambition to become the green powerhouse for the world?
Absolutely, that's a very good question. So for sure, it is a huge opportunity for Egypt, but for the entire region, because the whole world will come to Egypt, is coming here, and will discuss all the relevant questions. And often concrete things are born out of connecting the right people, out of personal talks, and then a good follow-up. So having such a high-level group of people talking about all the pressing issues will for sure yield concrete results. And specifically, Egypt has already achieved a few things on energy transition, has a very nice track record, with several gigawatts of solar PV, several gigawatts of wind. So very nice track record and basis, but at the same time, Egypt is not using its potential. Egypt could and should move much faster towards 100% renewables and being more ambitious. All these green molecule projects now announced, they should be implemented as fast as possible. An entire new infrastructure is needed for this, both on the electricity and on the gas or hydrogen pipeline side. And this is so important. So I'm so happy that the COP is happening here, and by the way, next year in the UAE. So this will be another occasion, and bringing me also to answering your main question. We are 100% convinced that the region will become a green powerhouse, green electrons, green molecules. It has the lowest cost solar and wind today. It has shown the last 2 years to lead the race to the bottom with the lowest price of solar and wind for many of the projects, with some of the largest wind and solar projects globally being built and being operational today. And now green molecules come in, and green molecules can store huge amounts of energy seasonally. Green molecules can be transported in very big amounts of energy over long distances. So if you compare, for example, an HVDC cable under the Mediterranean and a pipeline can easily transport 10 to 20 times more. So this is why green molecules come in, and green molecules is the thing Europe needs to execute on the Green Deal, and is also what Europe needs on energy security. So there is a historic opportunity now to fork these partnerships between the region and Europe.
So I remind you the CEO of Desertec DII Energy, so it's an independent network. How can you help this part of the world to foster the energy transition?
Well, we help by doing solid work as a think tank on studies, system studies. We know the energy systems inside out here, from generation, grids, electrical interconnections. We know infrastructure here. We have built relations and trust over the last almost 14 years here with governments. And this is the basis, with our independent proposition, not influenced by certain technological choices or political choices. So we are both independent from a technology and political point of view. This gives us a very good position to work with all the stakeholders in the middle, and to bring everybody together to execute projects and make projects bankable. And in addition, we're acting as a bridge of the MENA region to Europe as well, and to help getting Europe as key partner now on board for accelerating the energy transition.
Inside your organization, there is a hydrogen, let's say, alliance or division. So what are the objectives?
So the MENA Hydrogen Alliance, we started in January 2020, so almost 3 years ago. And that was when we presented Desertec 3.0, our new mission, including also green electrons, green molecules, alongside green electrons. And there was such an interest by the market. This is why we launched the MENA Hydrogen Alliance. And also, you know, to basically take account of all the work we've been doing in the previous 6 years or so on hydrogen. And well, MENA Hydrogen Alliance has attracted actually a number of international groups. We are now a group of approximately 90 companies from 30 countries. So it's becoming very international, and all the value chain is represented with a focus on the doers of projects, you know, the developers, utilities, and investors.
Can you give us some examples of big projects, ambitious projects in the MENA region? Of course, I'm thinking to Saudi Arabia with NEOM, for instance, but maybe there are some others.
Yeah, it's a good question, though. Also, NEOM Green Hydrogen was a big bang, and when it was announced in July 2020, I think everybody was just stunned. Nobody was expected a project of such a magnitude. You know, 100 megawatts would have been big at the time. They announced 2 gigawatt of electrolyzer capacity. They're executing it now. I think it's well in time on the way to financial close and being built. The first ones, the sites are prepared. But indeed, there are other projects. So we launched a so-called project tracker together with one of our partners, Roland Berger, just in spring with 37 projects. And now we are 60 just half a year later. So 60 projects, and they are, of course, from different stages of development. Some are pure announcements, but I would maybe highlight a few. So in Oman, different ones are quite advanced. One by DEME Group, among our partners, in the Duqm area, in the center of Oman. This is for sure a project to be mentioned. In Egypt, there are several projects which are being developed in advanced stage now, most in the Suez Economic Zone. And quite a few of the credible developers or some of our partners like Mazda or Inara Total, you know, they're there. Morocco is moving concrete terms now for different stages of pilots, but soon achieving 10 megawatts as well with OCP. Yeah, there's additional ones in Saudi in the pipeline. There is in the UAE some projects like in the Khalifa Industrial Zone, quite a sizable green ammonia project which is being planned. So I think, and this all happened in a very short time, so it should make us confident and hopeful that actually big things will happen in the next few years.
So, of course, there are still a lot of oil and gas, but other countries of MENA region are looking towards the future and green energies.
Absolutely. We did a study last year with the MENA Hydrogen Alliance and our partner Roland Berger to look at the long-term revenue potential from hydrogen sales. So to see whether this can ever be something similar to oil and gas. And it can be $200 billion revenues per year for just 3 countries, Saudi, UAE, and Oman. And yeah, absolutely. And we found also up to 1 million jobs could be created. So this is for sure a big thing. I think also here in UAE, the fact that ADNOC creates a joint venture with Mazda now, Mazda Green Hydrogen, is a huge signal. Well, ADNOC is one of the largest NOCs globally. And the fact that ADNOC goes with you know, all these resources and the balance sheet now, and together with a partner like Mazda, you know, with big power in low emission hydrogen, I think this is really impressive. And this shows the magnitude of change happening here.
Thank you, Cornelius, and have a good conference in Egypt, in Sharm el-Sheikh for the COP27, and hope to see you one of these days at our forum. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Laurent. Next time in person, and I really appreciate you having me, and wishing you a successful conference.